Hello and welcome everybody. How are we all doing this beautiful Friday evening? I know that some of you are live on Zoom with me, some of you are in my little Facebook group, and that is absolutely fantastic that we're going to spend the next couple of minutes, shall we say, so that you don't feel like you are roped in way too long with this. So just know that we're live, we're being recorded. Those that have registered for the event, you will be getting a recording sent out to you. So aren't you so lucky? Because at the end of this, there is going to be a guided meditation. I'm all for interaction, although I may not answer you right here and right now. Whenever you do send in a question or whatever it is, I will hopefully get to those at a certain point. But welcome to tonight's free workshop. Free, what they said for? My God, what's wrong with me? Welcome to tonight's workshop. For those that don't know me, my name is Sean McGill. I am also known as Psychic in the City. I am an international TV medium and a best-selling author. Now, there's people that are coming on now. When we all point and look at them, guys, you all got the email sent, you know. So yes, my name is Psychic in the City. You can call me Sean. In fact, I don't mind what you call me as long as it's not too early in the morning. I can't be dealing with that. I've been featured on TV. I was a guest medium on the hit show Talk to Me, a at-home psychic on Psychic Today on Channel 1. And I am also an international best-selling author as well. So I'm very, very international with my work, mostly because a lot of you local ones don't really like me. Yous are just here out of nosiness, isn't that? I'm only joking. So I wrote the book Tarot for Modern Times. For those that don't know, my love is tarot, you know, and it has been from my teens. So I've been reading professionally for 10 years, like 10 years as my full-time job. I've been reading the tarot from I was 13. That is 20 years that the tarot have been part of my life. That's longer than half of my life that the tarot has been part of my day-to-day life. Apart from, shall I say, my early 20s when I went off the rails a little bit, but we'll not talk about that. That's another workshop. So my book, Tarot for Modern Times, is a best-selling book. It contains traditional meanings, modern meanings that I've seen through the past decade of doing readings. Let me see. Can someone give me a wee thumbs up that this can hear me okay? So they're watching on Zoom. Perfect, thank you. I probably should have checked that. So this is the past decade of doing readings and seeing meanings that have came time and time again that aren't traditional textbook meanings. And as someone that has been teaching the tarot for a number of years, I think 2014, I started teaching the tarot. I see where people have trouble in learning the tarot, and usually that trouble falls in what happens when this card falls out with this card, or this suit falls out with this suit. So I put that in my book. There's card combinations, but not only that, because I'm a bit extra, if you haven't noticed that about me, I also further broke down that part of my book into themes such as, you know, love and work and so on, so that you can flick through the book and go, I want to know what this would mean in love. Is there a meaning for that? And there's also bonus video downloads, which those on Facebook in the Tarot for Modern Times group have access to the spreads and the cheat sheets and the videos that I've already put up. So that's kind of me. That's kind of what I do. Like I say, I'm an international medium. I demonstrate, I teach. I'm actually an approved trainer through the International Practitioners of Holistic Medicine. They have accredited 2 of my training programs, which means it's good quality because they've had to go through it to give it their accreditation. So today, we're going to be talking about connecting with spirit. I'm going to take this more of a direction from connecting with spirit guides rather than, you know, connecting with our spirit loved ones. It's a similar but different process, but it would be easier to explain this from a let's connect to your guide point of view. If you do want to know more, I'm sure there'll be much more resources out there available for you. So let's keep it simple. All right, guys, the psychic senses. Now, I'm sure you have all heard of the word clairvoyant. Oh, he's a clairvoyant, or I went to see a clairvoyant, or this type of stuff. And I can probably assure you right now that you have that very, very misunderstood, okay? Clairvoyant is actually an ability. It's not really the person. uh, in such a way as we have our five senses, our physical senses, and each one of our physical senses has a spiritual or an intuitive counterpart, whatever way you want to look at it. We'll call them the psychic senses just for the ease of what we're doing. So clairvoyance, there is clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, clairgustance, clairalience, or olfactory. And we'll discuss these because these are how we perceive spirit. These are how we perceive the aura, or in any type of psychic and mediumistic work, our psychic senses are used. By the way, I hope you all like my little PowerPoints. I spent hours and hours doing this just for you. So clairvoyance, like I say, clairvoyance is probably the most commonly known clair that is out there. And whenever we're working with our clairs, a lot of people immediately think clairvoyance. Okay, but this is a sense. So we can see, which is our clairvoyance, but there's two different types of clairvoyance. There's subjective clairvoyance and there's objective clairvoyance. And no one is any better or any less than the other. But subjective clairvoyance means seeing within the mind, okay? Objective means seeing outside of the mind. Now, objective clairvoyance is a little bit rarer than the subjective, although sometimes there's a bit of a gray area because you can't really tell, you know. So most mediums that I know see subjectively. It means they see within their mind's eye. They perceive that spirit person to be standing around their loved one in a one-to-one reading, or say I'm demonstrating subjectively, I would see the auras and the spirit people, but I see that in my mind because there's the blending of energy. Sometimes I do see spirit objectively and I don't like it, it scares me, so they know better. And I don't know, please don't let this happen. I live alone and I've got a flair for the dramatics, if you haven't noticed. So that's the subjective and the objective clairvoyance. Now, whenever we work clairaudience, clear hearing, very much the same. It would be subjective within the mind of the medium, of the person working, and then there's the objective clairaudience, which is you hear it in that, say, that spirit person's voice. Now, objective and subjective clairaudience, it varies. Now, subjective is hearing in your own mind, in your own thoughts. And how I describe this to the students on my programs is the subjective clairaudience is your own thought, but it's in a different part of your head, okay? And I know that sounds strange, but once you get it, you get it. And that's why, you know, if you see a medium work and they go, they're telling me this, and the person in the audience goes, no, well, that's because it's wrong. And that's why they haven't said it, it's just the medium's thought. And we make mistakes. And that's why development is so important, to learn to differentiate between what is my own thought and what is my subjective clairaudience, whether it be spirit communication or it be my own higher self, my own intuition whispering to me. And I'm sure you have all heard your intuition talk to you. Don't do that. Don't go there. Don't pick up the phone, or someone's gonna phone. You know, and that thought that comes in on a different part of your mind, that is the clairaudience. And it doesn't always have to be from an external source, i.e. spirit, to impress that upon you. It can be your own part, really, from your higher self. Now, the objective would be hearing voices, you know, hearing it in their voice, or maybe not in that spirit communicator's voice, but in a voice that differs from your own thought. And that would be something that, like when I hear spirit objectively, it's always the same voice, but it's not mine, but it's not theirs, but it's different, if that makes sense to you, you know. And there is a thing, like I hear laughter quite a lot from spirit as well. So generally, you can work different ways, and the subjective, just like the subjective clairvoyance, it takes less energy to utilize. So that tends to be what we will work with, because we're not burning through so much power. Okay, I hope you are all keeping up with me. Okay, I haven't even checked Facebook to see if people are following. You know me, I just like to get straight in and give things as best as I possibly can. So clairsentience, again, if you're understanding the French in this, clair, clear, and sentience is sensing. So if you've ever seen a medium work where you've had a one-to-one reading, and you'll hear them say things like, oh, I can feel this labored breathing, or there's this problem in my stomach, or whatever it may be, that is the clairsentience. But a lot of people seem to think the clairsentience is just the ailments, where it's not. Where we can get a feeling of relationships, we can get a feeling of, is it a mom, is it a dad, are they happy, are they sad, are they outgoing, you know, and we can also get a feeling of the messages from spirit as well, because our clairsentience ability, it's linked to our solar plexus, which is our gut instinct. So we can get a feeling of things. We don't have to see it or hear it. We can feel, we can sense what spirit needs to bring forward. The information that we're getting from, well, I suppose if we look at it as our higher self is spirit, our soul, it is spirit, well, for simplistic terms, you know, so there is that clear sensing ability, which is very, very, very common. Do you ever walk into a building and you're like, oh, I don't like it in here, and then you find out that, oh, there was some stuff that had happened in there, and that's why, or you walk in and you see your mum and you immediately know that she's on a downer, you know, those things are your clairsentient ability. You're getting a sense of everything around you, and because walls imprint energy and people give off energy, and we're like little walking, talking antennae that we just soak up all this information around us, and then our psychic senses translates that to us. Now, clairgustance is clair tasting. It happens. I've seen it happen a lot with a lot of mediums. You'd see them out maybe demonstrating, and they take a drink and they're like, oh my god, I just tasted whiskey there, because spirit will manipulate the particles and allow you to taste things differently. Clairaudience or olfactory would be the smelling. You smell the cigarette smoke, or your mum's perfume, your dad's aftershave, whatever it may be, to trigger those memories. Because what happens is our nervous system is all around our body, as we know, or you may not know, and it picks up on these subtle vibrations. And depending upon what clairs that we use or what we have developed, now they all run to some degree, but you know, depending on where you're at and what you know and what you do will depend on what clair really goes for it. So the nervous system will take in this information and translate it through our psychic senses. So then our subconscious mind will make sense of that, and then we gotta try and make sense of that on a conscious level. Oversimplistic, but that's the psychic senses. Oh, so we use our psychic senses to connect to either the person sitting in front of us, whether we're reading their aura, or to connect with our higher self, or for the purpose of this workshop, to connect with those spirit guides around us. So we know very much so that whenever we have our spirit guides around us, that they will come in and out of our energy, and as they come in and out of our energy, they will let us know different things. They will become familiar to us. But there's a lot of different roles that spirit guides actually play, and there's a lot of nonsense that I've heard people talk about whenever it comes to spirit guides as well. So in order to really learn how to work with the spirit guide, we kind of got to know what job it is that they do, because we can have many, many different guides working with us throughout our lives, some for a long time, some for a short time, some we may not even know have stepped in to help us. And our guides will have different roles and to help us in different aspects of, whether it be our mediumistic unfoldment, our healing journey, or our life. You know, you do not have to be a medium to have a guide. And that is something that I have heard from a lot of people. Oh, why would they have a guide? They're not a medium, because we are spirit, you know. Now, let's clear up the rules, the roles, the roles of spirit guides. So Our main guide will be the master guide with the communicator guide. Okay, so if it's just us, just me, just you, and we're on our wee journey, and say we're not really, going to develop in psychic or mediumistic or healing work, but we will have a guide that will be there to help, give us the wee nudge. Go, don't be doing that, or maybe you might want to step out in front of the road without pushing the button. That's going to be your master guide. Now, that guide may change as your life changes, but not very often, or it won't be like weekly or monthly. You'll maybe get a couple of changes as you grow. Then another one will come in to help with where you're at then. And we will also have a gatekeeper guide. So this is, you would commonly hear this one being referred to as a protector. I don't like using the word protector because it makes it feel like there's stuff out there that we need protection from when we don't. Now, this would be the type of guide that would stand over and make sure that no wee rascals come in and mess with us. Just as there is people that are wee rascals, will we say that? Spirit are going to be the same. So we need that sort of guide, that bouncer, as I like to call him, to sort of make sure that, if someone's messing me about during a reading, spirit-wise, or during a demonstration, he's the one I'm like, right, you need to sort him out here, or her out. Then say we've got our gatekeeper, we've got our communicator, and say we want to explore healing. We're going to have a guide that's going to help us heal ourselves and heal other people, and then of course teach us how to heal. So we're also going to get those nice wee team of spirit people working around us. But say we go down a different direction with our healing, or we go down a different direction within our mediumship, then we're going to have more advanced guides coming in. Then I would have a guide that helps me teach. I would have a guide that teaches me, and I think they're one and the same, to be honest. So this would be the guide that I would sit with, and I would be like, show me, guide me, teach me. This is the one that I would connect with for spiritual journeys via meditation. And you can do this too. Now, we don't have to get overly attached as to who they are. Okay, we don't really need to know. It's fine. All right. A lot of people, being people, tend to understand that whenever we are, what will I say? We tend to like to put people into boxes and into categories as people. Now, our guides are multifaceted beings. We're multifaceted beings. And a lot of people laugh at me whenever I say, yeah, my guide mostly shows up in a suit, where people expect, the guide to be that Native American or that Atlantean or whatever it is. And yes, they absolutely can be. But my level of understanding and my level of perception is that isn't totally who they are. That may be one life that they live. So you don't need to get too clued into their backstory, but it is nice to build a relationship with them so that you can easily recognize their information. So that whenever you are easily recognizing their information and their energy, it just makes the whole job a lot easier. And let's face it, of course we want things to be easier, don't we? So let's clear up some crazy myths. And this is the part where I would love to hear some crazy things that you've heard about guides. So put that into the chat box for me, things that you heard. So some of the things that I have heard is your guide's your family. I've actually seen people go, my husband's my guide. And I'm like, no, they're really not. Your family's your family and your guides are your guides. Guides are more highly evolved spiritual beings. So let's clear up the myths around guides and working with them, really. Okay, your guides are not overly concerned about what food you eat. To be totally honest with you, they don't care. The amount of people I've said, my guide have said that I need to take this diet. No, Barbara, they really haven't. They're just, some people think my guide says that I need to do this, so I must. So people assume that guides are all seeing and all knowing when they're not. They're maybe a little bit more highly evolved than just Joe Blogs people are, but they're not all seeing and all knowing. So you don't really have to listen to them all the time. Well, that's my get out of jail free card on that one. They don't care when you're in the bedroom or in the bathroom. Let me explain that. I don't mean that they're peeping toms, that they're just going to barge on in whenever you're having a shower. Sometimes spirit do interrupt me when I'm having a shower, but they don't see us in the bedroom or in the bathroom, okay? Because spirit are on a different vibration, a different frequency, and they don't see our physical bodies. They don't know when we're sleeping. They don't know when we're doing what else you do in bed. They don't know when we're in the bathroom, because all they see is our light. So whenever our light, our dial is turned up, then when we're in what I call work mode, that's all they see. So it doesn't matter if you've accidentally went into work mode while you're in the shower. The spirit are going to see your light and they're going to come in. It's irrelevant to them what's going on in the physical. They don't care. They aren't always serious either. Let me tell you that one. One of the times I met my guide, he came in with a sequin blazer on and was singing a bit of a show tune just to pick me up because I was in a bit of a bad place. And I do have a bit of banter with my guide as well. So they're not always serious. You will have serious ones just the way you'll have serious people. But, your vibe attracts your tribe, and obviously I'm super serious. You all know that about me. So of course I'm going to attract the spirit communicator that likes to have a bit of fun. I do have the super serious one, but I don't talk to him an awful lot because he scares me. And I'm just like, he doesn't scare me. It's just like I'll stick with this one here. So I've also heard that you can't drink, you can't smoke, and you can't swear if you work with spirit. Hey, although I don't drink or smoke or swear anymore, but I do swear. But absolutely you can. Spirit are not going to judge you on how you look, on what you do, if you have a drink at the weekend. They're not those types of people. They don't care if you have tattoos. They don't care that I dress the way that I dress. Do you think spirit are not going to work with me based on how I look and the fact that I used to smoke and definitely not. And only certain people have guides is another one I've heard. What a load of nonsense. We are spiritual beings. So it's going to be so easy for us to connect with spirit and to have our spirit family be with us. And our spirit family isn't just the people that we know here, because we're multifaceted beings in spirit. So of course we're going to have this whole troop of people wanting us to do well in this life, wanting us to achieve those goals and learn those lessons. Of course we're going to have those. So let's see, with someone put in the chat box. Sorry, I thought it was alright. No. So I would love to hear if anyone else has any. I think I now know why everybody came in on my name. You've used the link I sent. Is how it is. That's what it is. There we go. Figured that out. And it is what it is. But welcome anyway, Dave. You should know all this stuff. You're one of my students, so you should know this. Let me see. Okay. So this is the part of where's the stop share button? So this is the part here where I have completely overloaded you with information for half an hour. So I'm going to give you a wee second to take a breath, to let everything digest that I give you, because the information that I've gave in this alone in my mentoring program, I have probably split that into 2 different videos so that my students can really digest it. And we're still gonna go, guys. We're still gonna be hitting it hard. So does anyone have any questions on Zoom about anything that we've covered? I think you can wave your hand and I'll see. I'm gonna go and check on Facebook and see what's going on there. Hopefully people are understanding. I know that I tend to overly explain things. So usually people follow me okay, but I'm not seeing any questions. You can fire them into the chat box as well. So that is that wee one. So we'll just give it a minute, we'll let it digest. I hope these are learning loads. Of course, you'll have the replay to go over this again, and those that have registered anyway. I'm really shocked there's only like 6 people here, because it's 55 people registered. That is what it is, you know. The best people are here, isn't that right, guys? That's exactly it. There we go. Okay, so let's get back onto okay. People who have had trauma, may it be physical or emotional, especially when young, does that lead to clairvoyance? Clairvoyance, like I said, is an ability. Are you talking like intuition? Can those types of experience lead to have a more sort of intuitive life? Absolutely. I do tend to find that a lot of people that I know have maybe had some form of a traumatic experience, but normally that traumatic experience, now this is way off what this workshop is about, normally that traumatic experience is a lesson that they need to go through in order for them to help people of similar experiences when working with spirits. Does that make sense what I've said? So it's like, say someone had had some form of emotional trauma when young, then as a tarot reader or a healer or a medium, they'll tend to attract a lot of clients that have been through that, because there's healing on both sides that go on. There's healing with the medium and there's healing with the client, and there's also healing with the spirit also. So it's like a lot of healing happens, and in essence, that's what all this type of work is. It's healing at the end of the day. So yes, absolutely. Is it a prereq? Not at all. If you can be perfectly not traumatized and come into this type of work, I suppose. Although where's the fun in that? No, I'm joking. So I hope that answers that wee one. Let's get back onto my little PowerPoints. So let's talk about the things that can hold you back from connecting with your guides. Okay, fear. Fear is a very, very common issue that we can have when we're learning to work with our guides. But fear can take many faces. You know, it can be the fear of not being good enough. It can be a fear of failing. All these types of fears come from the ego mind. And if we understand what the ego mind is, it has its place, it has its part, it has its job, it's very beneficial to us. But those, sometimes it can run a little bit wild, and then, you know, shit happens, and the fear can come from that part, because our spirit, our soul mind is spirit. So there's going to be no fear there. So we can have fear as a multifaceted beast. It really is. And you know, the more that we get into fear, the more we lean into fear, the more it really helps us develop once we understand where it comes from. You know, is it coming from separation? Is it coming from a fear of not being good enough? Well, what is that fear of not being good enough? You know, is it something that is gonna stem from our childhood? Can we fix it? Can we integrate that part to be a more whole being? I really went off on one there, but I really shouldn't have. Sorry. So fear. It can be a fear of spirit, a fear of the unknown. And you know, it's a thing that baffles me, people being afraid of the unknown, because you're not afraid of the unknown because it's unknown. You don't know what you're embarking on. What you're afraid of is the projections that you've placed on it. So just let them go. And then don't be afraid. It's literally how I think about life. No wonder I sit on my own and then I ring my friend and go, come on here, what I came up with. It's like, you're crazy, but it makes sense. But anyway, another one that can prevent us from working with spirit and hearing our guides clearly is a lack of self-worth. A lack of self-worth. Because those feelings stem from our solar plexus. And as I mentioned earlier, our solar plexus is the home of our psychic abilities. It's not the third eye, it's the solar plexus chakra. And that solar plexus chakra is That solar plexus chakra is our clairsentience. It's where we feel about ourselves. So if we're not feeling like we're good enough, if we feel like we can't do it, or we're not worthy, or we're comparing ourselves to others, or we're trying to get it all done in 10 minutes when we know it's a journey that we should be on, that is going to really, really, really limit things, because the solar plexus is going to get all clogged up, and then you're not going to be able to sense very well. And everybody has the ability to work with their guide. We need to understand that we are spirit. That is our true nature. So we are spirit having a physical experience. So just like I can talk to any one of you guys, either right here, right now, or pick up the phone and phone you. Please don't do that, by the way. Text me first. Then we can talk to spirit. Because if we can talk to each other, then we can talk to what we truly are. I use the word talk very loosely, by the way, because all of our senses go. Egotism. Now, this is the big difference between ego and what people think they mean when they say ego. If you want to learn more on what the ego actually is, I recommend reading my friend's book, Awakening the Soul. There's 4 books, quite heavy hitting, but they're good. And that explains what the ego actually is. Egotism is what people say, he's an ego on him, ego on her. Or even the ones that I've heard say, I have no ego. And I'm like, if you had no ego, you'd be dead, mate, honestly. So the egotism is the me, the I. It's all about me. I'm clairvoyant. I'm a superstar. I'm the best medium. Shut up. Now, it's a team at the end of the day. We are the channel that spirit uses, but it's a joint effort. Always remember, it's teamwork. Whether it be you're working with your guide, you're bringing through a spirit contact, you're bringing through someone's mom, dad, granny, granddad, it's teamwork, you know. So guides have no problems with you going, you know, oh, I'm in it, like me, for example, I'm an international TV medium. They've no issue with that, because I thank them. I sit with them every day. I thank my clients. I thank the spirit communicators. I take a little bit of praise for the work that I do, absolutely. But I also make sure when people say at my DMs, you've done a great job. Yes, spirit worked me well. You know, so people see this sort of, you can be loud, you can be out there, you can be confident in what you do, but you can do it with a little bit of humility as well. I think that's the word I'm looking for, which a lot of people will always mistake is egotism. But so, as long as you know deep down that this is a team effort that you're doing, that you're either embarking upon this beautiful journey or you're already on it to one degree or another, if you know that this is a journey of unfoldment with you and your team, and maybe it's a circle that you're in or you're being mentored by someone, you know that this is a beautiful team that you're building. It's not just you and spirit. It's like Beverly, for example, she's one of my teams, she's one of my students, I'm one of her team. And then we have our spirit people and we have our other students. So it's not just me, I. You know, there's a lot of us. Does that make sense? So once we let go of that and we understand the concept of oneness, I'm going to go off on one again. Sorry, trying to keep this as short as possible. Anger. Anger is the worst, okay? Now, I'll tell you about that time I was married, because it's quite funny. That's a joke, by the way. So anger is the lowest vibration that we can be in. Without a doubt, it's the lowest, and gratitude is right up at the highest. So we've got anger and gratitude. People say love's the highest. It's not. Gratitude is, and then we have everything in between. So see, whenever we are angry and we hate people, because anger incorporates a lot of those lower vibrations. They were human. We're allowed to feel those feelings. We're allowed to be angry. We're allowed to get upset. Totally. And our guides know this, our spirit family know this. But see, whenever we're having such a bad day and we are so angry, that's like putting a brick wall up around you and spirit just cannot get through. Now, I know I referenced and made a joke about being married. I was. And towards the end, and maybe about 8 months afterwards, it was a good part of a year, to be honest, I could barely work because I was so angry. And this isn't a, oh, per him, definitely not. I just knew for like 6 months towards the end of my marriage, I knew that I was being lied to, and this was going on and that was going on. And so I started getting so angry, rightfully so, I'm human. And even afterwards, when I left, I was still angry. I was angry at myself. So I couldn't work. I was rescheduling and cancelling clients, and my mum was threatening to send me to the Arthur Findlay College. Not like that's a bad place, that's a really nice gesture, because I couldn't work. I was so angry. My energy was so dense that I'm trying to work with these things on a very, very high, fast vibration. Loved ones, guides, angels, you name it. And because I'm so here and so 3D, nothing was getting through. Now, we're allowed to feel anger. We're allowed to feel every range of human emotion because we're here on this planet, and that's what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to understand all these things so we can learn and grow. But see, on the days when you're so bad and so angry and you need that communication the most, you're not going to get it because you're so angry. So you need to learn to shift your focus over, or you'll just be like me and you'll pick your tarot cards, and no matter what card comes out, you'll tell yourself, I'm going to get married and win the lottery. So these are the things that prevent us from meeting our guide. So there's a lot of information so far. I know I should have put a price tag on this. I'm joking, by the way, guys. I love to teach and I love to just give the information out there. The number, whatever number we're on now, not putting the work in. So learning to work with your guide can be an easy journey, but it's a journey nonetheless. Okay, this is not something that you can do in 6 weeks. This is not something that you can do in a matter of months. You know, in a matter of months, you should have a really good understanding and a really good concept, but it's a journey. It's going to be ongoing. Okay, and you need to learn to get to know your guide. That's a whole big thing on its own. Never mind learning to read the tarot or angel cards or auras. You want to spend time getting to know your guide. And the easiest time to do that, or the easiest way, is through meditation. And the more that you become aware of their energy, the more you'll know when they've stepped in, and the more they'll share with you, and the easier that it will be to connect and to get information from them. So, you know, I run a mentoring program. It's 8 months long. And I'm totally honest, I say to every person that signed up, like I'm telling you right now, you're not going to be a working medium by the end of this, but I can assure you, you will have a good understanding if you do exactly what I say. Some people do exactly what I say and some people don't. The people that do exactly what I say get phenomenal results. The people that don't. I forgot the reasons why I was saying this. Oh yes, the people that do what I say, they put the work in. They learn, they study, they have their dedicated study time, they have practice time, they put the work in. And do you know what? You put your 50% in, Spirit's going to meet you with their 50%. You can't achieve great things by doing mundane tasks. It does not work that way. If you want to achieve greatness, you have to do great things. You have to be committed to greatness. And there's no shortcuts to it. Believe me, if there was, I'd have found it and I'd have made millions by now selling it. So if you put the work in, Spirit will meet you. They want to meet you. I want you to meet them. I want you to be there and working with your guides because it's phenomenal. It's a beautiful journey. And like, I know that I've had my guide there whenever I didn't have other like living people there with me, you know, so I know how great it can be to have that connection to help keep the head sane and stuff, you know. Because it's beautiful being able to help other people. It really is. Okay, I'll see if we've any wee questions. I believe I've been talking for 40 minutes. I know Beverly's going, sure, it's only 40 minutes. I've heard you talk for 2 hours non-stop. So yeah, we're 45 minutes in, guys. That's good. I thought it was going to take me half an hour to do that. Have you any questions about any of the information that I've given you? I know I've given you a lot and it's a hot day and all that type of stuff. So we're going to do a lovely little guided meditation to meet your guide. Now, I'm going to be talking you through this, And I'm going to say the word see whenever I'm working with you, talking you through it. You don't need to see. You may just get a sense or a knowing. To be very honest with you, anytime that I'm sitting in meditation, I barely see anything. Okay? I work so strongly on feelings. All right? And I work so strongly on feelings, even though I'm really, really clairvoyant when I'm working. So try just to forget all about any preconceived ideas that you have. So hopefully we're going to be sitting comfortably for the next maybe 10, 15 minutes where no one will disturb you. So I hope that that's good for you. So I can talk you through a lovely wee guided meditation and you can hopefully connect with your guides. If you do have any questions, fire it into the chat box, wave at me, I'll unmute you and you can talk. I will see what is going on in the little Facebook group. You get the way one of my eyebrows is way up here when I stream into Facebook. It's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, so like I said, just a wee 10, 15 minutes guided meditation that we'll put through this. So just sitting comfortably, guys, and hopefully you won't be disturbed. Awesome, so I'm going to put a wee screen share on as well. Just so it's being spoke through. Okay, guys, so sitting or lying comfortably, just with your hands and your feet not quite touching. I want you to close your eyes and just take a nice deep breath in through the nose. And just breathe out through your mouth. And I want you just to take a lovely deep breath in through the nose. And breathe out through your mouth. And once more, just breathing in deeply. And as you breathe in, I want you just to breathe in and connect to your breath. Allow the body to relax on the out-breath. Just taking time for you. Just to let go of the day and the week come by. As you let go of the day and the week gone by. Just feel yourself just relax. Just feeling calm and relaxed. Just feeling warm and relaxed. As you give yourself permission, give yourself permission to relax. I want you just to breathe in and breathe out as you connect to your breath. Just feeling your body relax and unwind. As you relax and unwind, the body relaxes and the mind relaxes. And as the body relaxes, the mind relaxes. And as the mind relaxes, the body relaxes. And I want you to visualize in the center of your chest, I want you to visualize a little light. Kind of like the flame of a candle. As you visualize this light, this flame of a candle in the center of your chest, you bring your attention to it, it gets brighter. And it begins to expand, and as it expands, it fills your entire chest. As it fills your entire chest, it moves through the torso, your stomach, your back, your shoulders, your arms, and your legs. Just feeling this light move through your entire body. Moving up around the neck and the head. And just allowing this light to shine brighter. And as the light shines brighter, and brighter. It shines out beyond your entire body, keeping you completely surrounded in a beautiful bubble of white light, balancing the aura and the chakras. As you breathe in this wonderful light and you breathe out any stress, and in your mind, I want you to go to a place of nature. I want you to go to a place that is special to you. I want you to look around at the sights, at the sounds, feeling the sun on your skin, a warm breeze as it goes through your hair, hearing the sounds of nature, that stream that is running close by. I want you to know that you're on a beautiful little pathway with the most beautiful, vibrant flowers at either side, the most brightest colors ever. And as you journey along this pathway, I want you to pick a flower to take with you on your journey. As you journey along this pathway, you become so relaxed. And as you journey along this pathway, I want you to notice to the left of you, there's a large tree. And I want you to go and sit under this tree, propping your back up against the trunk of this tree. And just relax. As in front of you, you see a figure begin to approach you, and you feel a familiar feeling with this figure as it comes close. I want you to recognize this presence as your guide. Knowing that this is a guide that works with you from the spirit world. And as this guide approaches, you begin to see them clearer. You get to recognize their height, their body shape, how they're dressed. But you know that this information will just come to you easily as your guide approaches you and sits right in front of you. I want you to look into their eyes and feel that beautiful connection. And as you look into their eyes, I want you to see what they look like. And I want you to ask them, I want you to say to them, welcome friend. I want you to connect your energy with mine so that I may feel your energy. And just begin to be aware of any subtle changes in your energy. As we're only staying with your guide for just a short period of time, I want you to ask them, give me a sign so that I know when you've came into my energy. And this may be like a physical sensation, tapping on your head or your face, or maybe like a pins and needle effect somewhere. Just be open to this sensation, as you'll know this as their calling card, so you know when they've came into your energy. And as you're connected with your guide, I want you to ask them. Ask them for a name, but don't think about it. Just allow it to come. Connected with your guide. I want you to relax a little more as you ask them for that little bit of guidance to help you on your journey. Don't force it. Just let it come through whatever sense that you use. Clairvoyance, clairaudience, or sentience, whatever it may be. As you thank your guide, you ask them to take their energy to disconnect from you. As you both stand up underneath this mighty tree, I want you to embrace your guide and thank them, knowing that you'll return at another time to sit with them, to work with them, to get to know them. But before you go back to this pathway, your guide has a gift that they would like to share with you. And as you hold out your hands and you accept this gift with love, you journey along the pathway with the bright colored flowers back into that place of nature that is special to you. As you give thanks for all that you have experienced, knowing that you're going to return again very soon, I want you to take a deep, grounding breath in through the nose, bringing your awareness back into the room. And as you bring that awareness back into the room, taking another deep, cooling breath, wiggling your fingers and your toes, opening your eyes, having a little stretch, a drink of water if you need it. And just trust in every experience. Now, if you need a wee moment to document what you have experienced, make notes of your experiences. They're your experiences that you have had with Spirit. They're for you. You make note of those. If you got your guide's name, fantastic. That's amazing. Ask for it to be confirmed and be aware of hearing it again at another point. So I do hope that you have enjoyed all that information. What an hour, oh my goodness. But before I wrap up, I do want to just tell you a little bit about my 8-month accredited mentoring program, because I know a lot of people have been asking about this, and this is such an amazing program, if I do say so myself, because it's taught by the most amazing medium. So my 8-month accredited mentoring program is an 8-month journey. And what's included within this 8-month journey is a membership site. And most importantly, well, this is split up into 2 different ways. First way is the membership site that has theory videos. There's over 30 theory videos spread across 7 modules. And each one of those becomes available to you on a weekly basis from you sign up. And that starts right at you being a soul, a spiritual being, having a physical experience. And I even go in to talk about, the soul, the spirit, the body, and how the mind works. Talk about the psychic senses and guides and psychic readings and mediumship on a vibrational level and all this type of good stuff. So it's over an 8-month period. And there's also sort of bi-monthly Zoom practical sessions. There's usually about 2 to 3 a month where we'll meet on Zoom and we will do some sort of psychic work or mediumistic work, depending upon where you are, different exercises to help strengthen your unfoldment and your development. There will be additional tutorials over that 8-month period as well. where they will be outside of the class time and on various different topics where we can go in on them on a deeper level as well. There's also a private Facebook group for all of my students, and there is a 6 a.m. online study group on Zoom, which is optional. You don't need to join that. So I know that people have been asking me about training. Now, this is an accredited training program. It's accredited through the International Practitioners of Holistic Medicine. You can sign up now. It is on offer at the moment. It is £585. It is going back up to £1,000 very soon, or 997 very soon. If anyone is interested, I think I'll actually give you a wee look at the membership site, just so you can see that. Shall I do that? Let me see. I have to exit wrong button. Let me see. What I can do here. So if I can screen share here. Oh, I don't want to be showing my messages or anything, do you? So this is what the membership site looks like, guys. So you can come on, and there's that wee handsome devil right there. Module 1, it's the welcome videos, the lessons, and there is bonus resources, which I'll be adding to those once obviously I'm in the new psychic in the city headquarters, once I get everything sorted. So there's like courses that are there, previous webinars, meditations, and all those lessons as well. So you can sign up if you wish. I think it's £65, and then 8 monthly payments of £65. I don't know. So that's the wee membership site there. It's cool. I'll put the wee link into the chat box and in the emails for anyone that is interested in signing up. For that, you will get pretty much instant access for the theory videos. And I'll be in touch, or someone will be in touch too, sort you out with the classes, you know. So I did say on Facebook that I would tell you about that, you know. So I do hope that you have enjoyed this workshop tonight, guys. We're just over the hour mark, which is perfect. Gives me time to get changed then and get back over and see my granny, because it is her birthday after all. So I do hope that you have a wonderful time. I will get the recording sent out to you very soon. Probably do that tomorrow. So have a good Friday night, guys, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.